Good morning, welcome to Satsang. If this thought comes to you, I want to know what's real, or what is there a God? What does it mean being opposite to becoming that the wise men speak about? For some reason, go for it. Go for it, and that makes you come to Satsang, or to read scriptures which are the expression of that search of that which cannot be expressed. So those who come to Satsang for that, they have to hear again and again that it will not be an experience, because you are it, you already are it, let your mind believe it or not. So one could take it at once, or in general cases, like it was mine. The mind takes time to take it, because it's totally opposite of its natural nature, which is to always give directions and to always present something, present a goal. So the mind always presents something which is not yet accomplished in the future. So one takes a certain path, a certain direction according to what it demands. But if it demands, I want to know who I am in reality, or in fact, it's already there, because everything comes from there, is sustained by that, and disappears there. So that cannot be experienced, otherwise it is somebody, again, I experience it. And if I experiences it, it is in time, and so it will be an experience which doesn't last. Now, one misunderstanding about realization of the self, of realization of who I am, is that one thinks it will be like experiences, it will be only seen at times, which is true. In time, it will be only seen at times. But what do you see? Not with the eyes, not with the mind, or not with the feeling. What is your real nature? And it looks like it doesn't belong to anybody, nobody is there. It's not only emptiness, nobody is there to say anything. So it's good to hear that again and again. If you have any question, more clarity, any doubt, please express it. It's an opportunity for it. And voila.
Can I read my...
Where are you?
Here. It's just in front of you.
Ah, sorry, again?
Yes. Can I read my question? question. I wrote my question.
Yeah, you can,
Yes.
of course.
I'm a bit ashamed to ask this question.
There is no shameful question.
It's kind of what I asked last week, and the question I always revolve around. I don't know what I want in this life.
Okay.
The only thing that creates desire, but also nostalgia, is when I look at the horizon. And since childhood, I have left this way, which makes me both sad and hopeful that there is something else out there. I know there's no there, but in this sensation there's like a call, a surge of joy, as if something were waiting for me somewhere. Should I turn away from this feeling because it's just a pipe dream? I don't know how to integrate this feeling into my life. I have the impression that it makes me look life somewhere else that doesn't exist, but I can't seem to detach myself from it.
Yeah, I would call that a search for something else that the world offers. And often we give a shape to that, or I search for God, or I search to see if there is any truth somewhere. I search for something beyond, isn't it? So according to that search, you will find a way. Suddenly, you hear or you read, oh, that fits. I like what is written or what I hear. There is something there maybe which can fulfill my search. So now, if it is something which the world doesn't offer, it looks very much like the search of what's the source of all things. Who am I, in fact? Who am I? You see? And in that way, go for it. But know there is a kind of direction since you place yourself somewhere to look at the horizon or to have a thought. You put yourself somewhere. In general, it is, I am born, I am someone searching. So from that platform, you could hear whatever I experience or whatever thought arises, it's not that direction. Like this, you don't feed the one who searches for himself. You don't remain in the same level. Because that level has to be questioned. In fact, who am I? That's a question which can root out the belief that I am only a human being, for example. And that's the direction which brings you where any search of that kind, any ontological search, will disappear. And that can give you a refuge of peace, a stop in this timeline. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you take it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Try.
Yeah, I try. Yeah. Thank you.
you see, in this world we know only one way to live. It's always to experience something or to go for an experience with a hope to fulfill it or to run away from an experience. Here it's about what's the background of everything, what's the substance. Is there any substance? But that will not belong to an individual. The individual, the I thought, you see, I thought, it's already something which is objectified. So from where this I thought arises? That's what you are.
I see that I'm still holding on to this concept of permanency. And
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like this concept is only in the head, because you see, so if we speak of permanency, it is someone. You agree? You tell me if it's someone who speaks about it. Right? And you said, I have this concept here, sure. Because the other concept may suffer all the changes. Everything is changing. On top, we hear that the direction from where everything rises, we hear it's permanent, it's always there. So of course we conceive permanency. But it's an indication to say what you are, in fact, is always available. It's always here. But in order that it's a fact for you, you have to leave all your concepts. Now, to fulfill the concept of permanency would be like to fulfill this concept in time, which is impossible. You can have experiences of permanency, but they will come and go. Because it's somebody, so time, the time which is born in somebody, which expresses itself in opposite, in duality. So I would drop the concept of permanency and see by yourself that it was pointing out not to experience it. It's always just here now when I don't touch my mind. That's so again we come back to this idea of the embodiment. Some people are seen as the embodiment of that permanency, which is impossible. First of all, a body cannot contain from where it comes from. And what means a body? It means birth and death. You cannot avoid the duality. So how an embodiment, that will be also the individual spirit, could ever always be like an example permanently of that? It's an impossibility. But here I agree, there are degrees. Some people look like more, let's say, saintly or absorbed in, and some people less. But that is experiences in the world. it doesn't count. What you are, in fact, is not your experience. That's why this question, who am I, may disappear, even the I. So you cannot experience it, but for some reason it can be suddenly, strikingly, suddenly be seen. It's a pointing. And that's enough to understand what it means, the mind, what is pointed in Satsang, for example. And that may not come twice in your life. It's not necessary. And it's, here I cannot decide, but it's up to you or not to give honor to that in your life. And that will look like impermanent, like split-second moments you steal. But what is stolen has nothing to do with the time impermanence here, impermanence. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
I have a question. For example, I meditate and then I don't have no more thoughts. I get into the bliss and
Yeah.
then I go to life. For example, somebody call me and say something. Oof, I feel physically. Oh no, so bad. So again, like. Ooh. And sometimes I feel like, well, I run away. Like, but I realize it's not me. I realize I'm not the mind of the body, but this is so easy to get kind of like infected like a virus. Like somebody says something angry or sad or whatever, and I feel like, oh no, okay. And I don't know. The question is like, is there a way to keep a bit more stable with the bliss?
There is no way. I'll explain a bit more. The problem is that you think that when you hear your mind telling, oh, I am in bliss, or I have no thought now, and this is it, because it looks furiously like what it is said about it, you take it, you make a concept of it. Oh, there is no thought, it's emptiness there, I'm not there. But that's an aspect of it only. That's why it comes and goes. That's why you are troubled when the rest comes. In this life, listen, you cannot avoid, let's not speak of bliss, but you cannot avoid pleasure and pain. To pain looks a bit more, but you cannot avoid that. As someone, as the meditator, you cannot avoid that. The meditator, because you are a meditator, you will become an ordinary man after. It's like that. Bon, once you know that, no problem. But you can, if you know that, then you know also that when you give yourself this gift not to think, you are not even the one who doesn't think. This is an experience which comes out. Who you really are is from where you can see that. And that you cannot define. You cannot say it's like this or like that. And if you do it, you are misled by an aspect, by an experience of it. That's how one can say it's always available. You see, it's not lost if I am totally distracted or identified by something, or if I am just quiet. It's not lost.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you.
They already.
I wanted to ask you, would you say it is possible to kind of honor your true being all the time and every moment?
I just explained. For some people, no, it's not possible as a human being. How is it possible? Or you are no more a human being, then you die. What for? What do you think this life continues? Because something is still attached to this body to be fulfilled or to be frustrated.
So it's not necessary. If it's not possible, it's not necessary also.
It's not necessary. If you know who you are, honor that. I know you. Whatever the mind will be troubled with or enjoy, you know who you are. And you will not confuse that with experiences. That's all. And of course, sometimes you want to specially to have this experience of obviousness. Then you don't think, then you just stop. But now you know that even the obviousness, which is temporary, is an aspect of it. It's an experience of someone. If you know that, you're free from believing I lost myself.
Thank you.
I can say I lose myself, but then I speak of the individual. Here and there, this life is busy. This life is amazingly busy, makes you amazingly busy. But then you speak of the individual. Somewhere, if you had that split moment of, let's take a common word, realizing what is, it's there. Never doubt about that. Then. And if this didn't happen, search for it, go for it. If it happened, give moments to honor it. What else to say?
Thank you for your wisdom. I often wonder, what am I here to do? Like, what did I come here for? And then I wonder, did I even come here for something? Or am I just supposed to be? So I guess I just find myself confused.
Yes, it will not really be clarified, in fact. Maybe you will fall into that answer, oh, it's a bit mystery. Why are we here? What for? I cannot answer that question. But I see I don't suffer about that question which is still there, maybe within my mind. I don't suffer anymore because I know who I am, in fact. So, maybe here you could ask, who is preoccupied? Who has this thought? What am I doing here? Because then you are still busy with the individual which is born, isn't it? But actually, it's the appearance of something else that you really are. So to change the direction, instead of going like this, with the time and the space where you are born, you ask from where this I am someone came from. So, instead of who am I in this world, or what for, you say, who am I in fact? It's another direction, isn't it? Yeah. And you dive deep there, not catching any answer. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
I'll try
what you
that.
are. Yeah.
Hi. It feels like everything is just secondary. Like also this chart is just secondary. There's something before that.
Okay. So keep quiet there.
Thank you. Yes.
Otherwise you will be busy with your mind.
Yeah.
That's what you are. That's what is said. Pointed like this is what is.
It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Even joy and peace and love is appearing,
Yeah.
but it's also appearing.
Yeah.
It's also secondary.
Yeah. You can enjoy them. They just will pass.
Yes. And then sometimes somebody is appearing.
Somewhat.
And then sometimes there's somebody appearing.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sure. Who wants to have joy again? But it's fine. Yeah. It's just as it is.
I never saw you before.
It's just getting funnier and funny.
But don't worry, the day is not funny, you didn't lose anything.
Yeah.
Know it. you came quite matured, no?
My question is about something you said in the beginning today, which I heard you say many times. And can you take it?
Yeah.
And it looks to me that something has to just click and never go back. And I don't know what to do.
Yeah. As long as you think of it, it's because you cannot yet take it, because the mind has so many arguments, you see, or so many concepts, or not so many, one is enough to trouble. So it doesn't want to give it up, that one. That's the problem. So maybe you are not aware of what it is exactly. Do you know what it is? That concept?
I would say there is a strong concept that I can put into words, and I can maybe say I know it's a concept, but that there will be some experience that will wash away whatever comes to me as doubt, which I can look at and I can say, oh, it's a doubt, I don't want to go there, I know it's the mind, I can bring the arguments.
Yeah, so you rely on your knowledge, on the knowledge you have on the subject, actually. Yeah, of course, that has to be given up. Then who are you if you give up that? Who are you? Now. So it's true, it's not the mind which will take it, it's the mind which is allowed to be rooted out. That's better to say. Sure.
I don't know if this is a silly question, but something I often wonder is, where do my thoughts come from? And which thoughts are true, which ones are real,
Yes,
which ones
exactly.
do I believe?
Exactly.
How do I know?
You see, that question, of course, many philosophies will give some idea, but philosophies will not help to solve, because after you get a good answer, then you will question it again.
Yes.
So I suggest that you ask again who has got this question? Where do you go when you ask? So tell again that question. How do I know? How can I discriminate what's real or not real? Actually, this is the thing. So, who is asking that question? Tell me now. There is a name for that. There is a universal name for that.
Where did the thought even come from to ask that question?
So, but who has this thought? It's not Donkamanda there, isn't it? So, who has the thought? It's not her. It's not me. Who has that thought?
The part of me that's trying to make sense of the world?
Who is it? Tell one word. Listen to me. I think so. I have questions. I have answers. I search. I don't search. The thought I is the first. And because I rises, a full universe rises. If I doesn't rise, where is the universe? In sleep state, we know that. So that's why it is so amazingly striking, important, if you want to know some answer, but not as an answer, but as a being. Who am I? Now you have to answer I. Tell I yourself to feel it. I. So you objectify yourself suddenly. Yes. From where you objectify yourself, that's what is. That's the background of everything. From where I can say anything. I am born, I am dying. From where? I am that. From where? But no more as I. But it's a pointing. I cannot express it, so it's a pointing. Good?
Yeah.
Good. So, be there. You are always there, in fact. If you feel you are still busy, go back there again, whenever you have fire for it. Great. It's a strange course, huh?
Sorry?
It's a strange course.
Course.
Lesson.
It's a good one. Not boring like school.
This wisdom I learned from your country, and I don't know if you know the name, but from Ramana Maharishi, from the south, and then I had my own guru, Papaji. So it's alive. They're pointing are alive. Yes, please.
I'm always wondering who decided my destiny.
Can you answer?
No?
No, me. And you will not be satisfied because if you ask this question, you go into the universe of the mind, which is so intelligent. It's so smart. It can give you amazing answers. Then you are satisfied for a moment, and then next. So the answer is not there. Who are you? The mind has to be given up as a trustable something about this affair. It's meant for the world. Here he cannot come. He doesn't enter here. So answers will be myriads of answers to your question in the world. But it will not finish your search for it. Myself, for many times I don't say, "Oh, unbelievable mystery! How can you comprehend this? How can you?" But I don't need an answer. That's the difference, huh? Mm.
So I'm sitting here with a conclusion, and I want to share this. So my conclusion is that I've seen myself, but
You've seen yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I also met with that enormous power, that I does everything for its existence. So that I cannot do that step to really question the existence.
But you said you know yourself.
I have this image that I see myself, and together that I cannot go further or do that step because I also met immediately that I is like the biggest power I ever seen. I don't know if it's wrong or it's another imagination of many. So therefore I wanted to share. But this is my conclusion.
But a conclusion means it's like this for me.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the question is it all right or is it
No, I want to get rid of this. I think
to get rid of this. So if you want to get rid of this, don't look at it. Just now,
because it's not true. It's just as another thought, like it's just a thought, it's just an imagination, and that's it.
I think this world, you can say, is not true when you speak of from what is, let's say, but it's true for this body.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. For all our emotions, for our mind, this is the reality of it. But it is not. And it is the background also, what is, because all this is becoming, even thoughts. You had not this conclusion before, it came to you now, etc. So it can still go on changing also. It is that background itself, but limited because there is a form of it, there is an expression of it, but it's that too. There is not like two reality, an illusory one and a real one. That is for the sake of teaching to finally not give reality to all our concepts. We say, no, not this, not that. It's an illusion, it's an illusion. It's a way to finally make you alone with what is. But in fact, when you see, everything is that. But you know it is a limited form and all that, but it's that also. There is no two realities. Otherwise it's like a religion. God is transcendent, and then there is this phenomenal world was to please God. Nothing wrong if one believes that, but since we are not into beliefs, so you agree that all what you express, even if it's quite wise conclusion, or it looks a true conclusion, do you see that it is still the mind comprehends it now? So it feeds someone. Okay. So if you want to glimpse who you are, you just, it may still appear, but you just don't look at it. There is nothing valuable there.
But then it also means that when I experience that I is fighting for its existence, like survival of all, it's just as it is, like, I mean, like it will do, like
Yes,
it will
yes.
happen. It
This
will happen,
phenomena
it's
will
nothing.
not change
Yes,
much.
yes, yes.
Sure, sure.
It's just in the package, in the same thing.
It is in a package, yeah. That's a huge package. There is nothing wrong in that. This is the life. This is what to say. I mean, it's the life. Yeah, it's the energy of that which expresses it in a. We can never know if it is a chaotic or the most harmonious way. We will never know. And why? Just give a second to that. Why? Who am I? Who am I? And then it removes, you see, the question may still remain, but it removes the compulsion to have an answer to it. Yeah? Okay. You see, myself, I wonder if I start to see, oh my goodness, this creation is quite a thing. It's quite a thing. You can see it from the invisible something to the most majestic or whatever. It's quite something. But you see, it doesn't go in the search of who am I. It's just the mind wanders. The mind wanders. It's doesn't matter if he wanders. I mean, he has to wander. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Ganga. When I feel a bit more quiet than usual, I have a feeling of reverence, like I want to bow down to that, and I want to know where does that come from, and if I should stay quiet there also. It's a
But can you?
I think so, or I can go
Then
deeper.
why you ask me this question? It's because you are not there. Be very honest, you know, otherwise you may compromise with something. It's better to really see things as they look. Huh? So, if you're quiet and you want to go down, maybe this quietness comes from what is. And even quicker than your thought, you go down. Your being surrenders in a way we can speak, or honor it. Okay? Now, the feeling belongs to somebody. So, if you take the feeling for it, you will have this question. That's a problem. So don't own what makes you bow down. It's not yours. And of course, for a while I feel, let's say, beautiful, so blessed or whatever. But that is the somebody. And so it will fade away. But what made you bow down? That's what you really are. That's what is always available. Keeping quiet and all is not always available. So never confuse somebody who feels enlightened and what is. To feel enlightened is a very temporary experience. Nobody, as somebody, is enlightened, in fact. Okay? You can have experiences of it. So bullshit. Yeah, because when he's enlightened, then, I give him the truth and the news. But when he's no more enlightened, then what? He will lie. So, but enjoy. Enjoy when you are enlightened. Keep quiet, because you know that's not what really is, but that is a consequence of not listening to your mind. Yes, yes. A sword. Yes. No need to be la la la.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just for the understanding, so this enlightenment is just another concept for the self.
It's a concept which has the benefits to root out all other concepts. So when you still need it, use it. And that itself disappears when the real thing is. It's a bit like that Zen story of the bull. The one who is searching is riding the bull in the market, and then he's asking, but I'm searching who I am. So in the market someone indicates a secluded place where to go. Is the concept of liberation. So he goes there. So finally it's realized. It's realized, and at once he goes back to the market. What for, you think? It's because the concept of moksha left him too, of liberation, as well as the concept of the market. So as only the market exists in this world, he is in the market. Because if he stays in the concept of moksha, then even a mosquito will trouble him. If he comes from the market, the mosquito, while he's in samadhi, he will be very disturbed. Then what? What to do? They will lie, they will say, oh, I'm not troubled by the mosquito which bites, I don't feel it. It's no, there is no mosquito. All liars, all those are liars. Or maybe they are still ignorant, they bathe in a certain state which makes them speak like this, or they lie because they think it's enlightenment, so they should fit that. But it's lie, it's a lie. There is nothing like ignorance and like liberation. If you can live like that, good luck. Good luck. But for that, it looks we have to make all this journey. Otherwise, it's a mere new concept, intellectual thing. Anyway, no way.
Ten to 10.
No.
10 to 11.
I tried. But I have a clock here. Ask more. Otherwise, after, anyway, you will read Ramana and tell, oh, that was amazing. Ask. And then see Ramana. Yes.
I have an observation and a very weird feeling. And also I want to ask a question. Before that, there was some talking about I and answering where things come from. Yeah. And at some point something shifted, feeling like that the I become like a third person. And that's very strong. Almost feels like I cannot talk about I as before, as I.
Okay, then keep very quiet now.
Okay, but the question was, there is people in India who speak about Maya, that all of this is just like a dream, an illusion.
That's what I say. Yes, of course. You need that concept to root out the reality of it. Otherwise, you will never find the substratum of it.
But then at some point, thinking about it, I thought that it can do whatever it wants because it's just a dream. But then the world showed that it's not like that there is rules and laws and everything. So then I can get confused in all of this. But then eventually I guess it gets to the point. To know reverence.
But the confused I is, that's why at some point he searches, but who am I in fact? Who am I? Because now you spoke of somebody in this world, so is there a background? Go and see yourself. But then you cannot give any answer, otherwise it is again owned by someone, the one who searched.
So the I who questioned it at some point thought, maybe it's all pointless, maybe it can give up. But then
Try?
Yeah, I tried. And it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then the I realized that, maybe need to keep going. And
yeah, but keep going in the right direction at least. From where you already are, but for some reason you hide it by thoughts. So just question, who is this I so preoccupied? Who is this I with question? Then you will see it's I am as the one I know, the one who is embodied. But then you see you objectify it. I objectify myself, even that. So from where you objectify, just give a split second of quietness, stay there as you always have been. There is no question and no answer. Yeah.
So, what you said, you have to be vigilant until your last breath in a way. So the question just came to me, does an enlightened being have to keep up somehow his clarity?
No, not the clarity. First of all, you see, enlightened being, the expression, we cannot do otherwise. But it's a pointing, okay? The one who has seen what is. So actually nobody is there. Now, the enlightened being is the one, for some reason, who has been struck by that. By that, I am that. So this striking happens in time. It was not there before I was a seeker. It happened. So the striking happens in time. But what has been seen is not in time. That's why it's always available when one is vigilant, or when one naturally wants to honor what is, for some reason, the most precious in his life. Because he knows the suffering of searching, of seeking again. He doesn't want to go there back. That's all I can say. So, vigilance. But you see, this vigilance doesn't come like, oh, I lost myself, I have to be vigilant. This vigilance comes because one suddenly wakes up in the midst of torments, let's say. Oh, but after all, who am I? And then at once, all is clear. It's different. The drive first is a need, because one doesn't know yet, or one feels has lost it. The drive after is wisdom. From wisdom.
But there's the potential to re-identify in a way, right? Because I think I've already also experienced a glimpse or something, or quite often I would say some degrees of that clarity.
Yeah.
But then the potential is still there to go back to an old kind of identity.
That's why you have to be vigilant. But don't expect to have a life of vigilance. It's impossible. But you see, if you see that it has been so important, somehow it's a real blessing in life to have got a glimpse, let's say like that. You will naturally wake up at some point in the midst of identification. Oh, I have to honor this. Oh, I have to honor it. Because it's not something you acquire. So it's alive when you give a moment to it. Yeah?
So I've often heard and read, my ancestors talking about how much karma you need to be born on earth and to have this life and come here, and how lucky we are. So then I think, okay, if I'm here and I'm human, do I just enjoy this human life? But then when we're here, we're often asking, who am I? And trying to seek God and realize God and all of that. So I don't understand, because if we came down there to be here, but then here we're trying to go back up there. And
There is not up and down. What you are is that side, pointing there. It's not pointing there, it's not pointing there. Who are you? I'm myself. I'm myself.
just in a human body.
No, it's not located, but it's a direction.
But then, after you ask that question,
Then you are there
then
now.
what?
Okay, but then, yeah? Tell me, but then?
I guess, what's the point of it
To
all?
live. You have to ask directly to what you are.
But what does it want to do?
What to do? Live your life, and if now you have this question, who am I? You have to introduce that in your life.
Okay.
And see what it does.
Okay, I'll ask. Okay. All of my questions lead to the same answer, so I think
Very nice. So, some other urgency? Thank you very much.